Hello, Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. So once again, time to put together a little odds and ends episode for you guys. I've got quite a bit of stuff that's come in over the last few weeks since I've had a chance to shoot one of these and need to work through these and share some pretty cool stuff with you. So I think I'll start off with some indicators, and these are actually not some indicators that I recently acquired. In fact, these are some indicators that I picked up actually when I got my lathes and my surface grinder from over in Alabama. I got a bunch of just miscellaneous tools and tooling and stuff that went along with that, and in that there was a bunch of old indicators, most of them Federals, a couple of Starretts, and some miscellaneous brands, and a lot of those indicators were in really rough shape. Some of them, you know, if you pushed them, the dials would still move, but the springs were messed up, the crystals were messed up, they were just dirty, and while, you know, they weren't totally ruined, I guess you'd say, they really weren't usable as they were. So when I was out at the bash, talked with a couple of guys who've been using MR Tool Repair, which is Mark Rakowski up in Crystal Lake, Illinois. And Mark has a business basically where he refurbishes machine shop equipment, indicators, dial calipers, micrometers, let's see, optical comparators, hardness testers, super micrometers, height gauges, bore gauges, calipers, micrometers, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm going to show you, to start out with, a little video clip that I shot of these three indicators before sending them up to Mark, and then I'm going to bring you back and show you what I got back from him. I've got a couple of indicators here. You know, all of them, I can't say they just, you know, well, that one there may not really work. I think it's working, it's just really sticky. You know, all these are, they're, like I said, they're just sticky. They're dirty, they're nasty. These were in a shop where I bought some machinery from one time, and they've been sitting out for no telling how long, and you know, they're just, I really think that they just need a good cleaning, and you know, there may be few bad parts in them, but for the most part I don't think they're in terrible shape, but they're not usable as they are. So anyway, I contacted Mark, and I'm going to be sending these up to him. I wanted you guys to look at them before I sent them in. You know, this Federal here, it's not bad. This is a 1/1000th indicator. Got a fairly short travel on it. It's missing the cover on the top up here to cover the shank. Another Federal here. This is a 1,000th indicator. Again, it's working but not great. The Starrett here, it may actually have some issues. It's, you know, again, it's working, but there's no spring return in there at all. And anyway, overall condition, you know, not terrible, but not usable. So these are definitely candidates to be worked on and restored. So anyway, like I said, I wanted to let you guys take a look at them before I send them up. And we'll send these up to Mark, and here in a week or two when I get them back, we'll feature them again and let you see what he did. So you saw what these looked like before I sent them up, and this is what came back to me in the mail. You know, Mark had these by the time I had time for him to get up there, probably, I don't know, maybe about a week's turnaround on these, pretty quick. Sent me an email as soon as he got them, let me know he had them, gave me an estimate on repairing all of them, and the prices varied, you know, somewhat from one to the other. You know, I think these end up costing me, I almost hate to say because I don't remember exactly, $35 a piece, something like that in the ballpark. And guys, let me just tell you, it depends on what needs to be done to it. So don't think that's a hard and fast rule, but you know, just, you can send them to him. Mark will give you an estimate on what it's going to cost to fix them, and then he'll fix them for you, send them back. He tells me he has lots and lots of parts to fix all kinds of different brands or whatever. You can contact him first if you have any questions. Take a picture of your whatever it is and send it to him, and he can probably give you an idea just on email. So anyway, I'm very impressed. In fact, I was so impressed with the results of these that when these got back, I immediately boxed up 3 more indicators and sent them out to them, because I literally had a drawer with just a bunch of old indicators that were useless to me as they were, but I hated to throw them away because they really just needed some work done to them. And Mark's the man; he can get that done. So if you got some you want to have worked on, I put Mark's card right here. In fact, let me zoom you in on that, make sure y'all can see that. So there you go. If you want to get in touch with him, I would suggest shooting him an email, maybe take a picture or two of what you want to send, and he can take good care of you. I don't think Mark has a website right now. He mentioned that he may be trying to put one together. He does have a group over on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, you can go check out over there and see a lot of the stuff that's going through his shop. He posts some pictures of things that he's doing, so you can kind of see the kind of work that he's doing. But very impressed. Like I said, I've already sent Mark some more stuff, and I suspect that he'll be seeing me from time to time over the next little while. Give him a try, give him a shout out if you need some work done to some old tools. So next item here is a bunch of horizontal mill cutters that recently came in, and these actually again came from the Bar Z Summer Bash that we had, man, what's that been, about 5 or 6 weeks ago now, out in California. And the story on this is that when we got out there, Tom Lipton, YouTube creator, fellow YouTube creator, go check out Tom's channel if you haven't already. He had brought in a bunch of these horizontal mill cutters and had boxes of them there, and he's like, Keith, go over there, pick out some that you think you can use, take them home with you. He basically was just giving them to me. Well, I was going to have to ship everything, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to logistically do that, get everything packed up. I did ship a bunch of stuff back, and well, at the same time that I was looking at them, James Green, yet another YouTube creator, go check out James's channel if you haven't already. James was looking at them as well, and he's like, well, just pick out what you want and I'll take the rest back. And well, James and I got to talking. I said, I tell you what, James, do this. I said, you just take them all home. James had driven out, I had flown out. I said, you take them all home and just go through them and split them up however you want. Send me some, I'll be happy. Whatever I can get, I'm good with. So James agreed, and in addition to taking them home, he also went a step above and beyond. James actually has taken all these cutters. When I saw them out in California, they looked kind of cruddy. I mean, they were rusty, they were just covered in gunk. Well, James took them back, soaked them all in Evaporust, cleaned them all up, and so far he sent me 2 boxes of cutters and priority mail flat rate boxes, and I think I'm probably still got a couple more boxes coming, at least one more box coming as he gets things cleaned up. So big shout out to James Green. James, thank you for helping with this and taking on the task. And you didn't have to clean these up. You could have left that for me, but James is a top-notch guy, and he just went ahead and cleaned them up and sent them on to me. So I'm really surprised looking at these after James cleaned them up, how nice these cutters are. They look a lot better. In fact, most of these have recently, they look like have been resharpened. They're good and sharp. They're in excellent shape. Yeah, there's a few of them that maybe have some little chunks missing out of some places, and there's a few of these that may be candidates for resharpening, but most of these are actually ready to go on the mill right now. So pretty exciting. And I got some nice big slab cutters here. These are awesome for doing flat milling across a big area. So anyway, and James got a bunch too, and you can go check out his channel and see some of the stuff he picked up out of this same little deal here. So thanks a lot, James, appreciate it greatly. Thanks Tom Lipton for donating these to the cause. Guys, now what I've got to come up with is a good way to store all these horizontal mill cutters. I've literally got several boxes of mill cutters over here that are just on a shelf, and as I migrate to the new shop, I really need to figure out a way to organize these and store these in a way where I can go find what I need without having to dig through boxes and boxes of random stuff. somehow get them organized and at the same time keep them protected so they're not bumping into each other, getting chipped and broken and dull. So if anybody's got any good ideas on horizontal mill storage, I would be interested. You know, I've seen the racks where you put like wooden dowels or whatever and hang them on the wall, and you know, that may very well be an option. But if you got a really creative way to do this, you know, I guess outside of the common stuff that probably everybody's seen, by all means let me know, because I really need to come up with a good idea on how to store these things. Next item here is a really nice book. Came from James Massey. Just came in the mail the other day, and what James sent me, let me zoom you in. I want to show you. This is pretty cool. So what James sent was Kent's Mechanical Engineer's Handbook. This one is specifically on power and all kinds of power related items. Let's see, this particular one, let's see, this is copyrighted. Original was 1895. The latest copyright date on here is 1915. It's got 1143 down here in the bottom, so I'm guessing that this is probably was actually printed about 1943. But so this is basically all about all kinds of engines. This is the 11th edition. Oh well, July 1936. So so probably is that 43 printing date on it. But so got all kinds of stuff in here about all types of power transmission or power related stuff. So let's see if I can find a decent index here. So section 1 is on air, section 2 is on water, 3 is heat, so boilers and so forth. Section 4 is combustion and fuels, steam, the steam boiler, the steam engine, the steam turbine, condensing and cooling equipment, refrigeration and ice making, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, internal combustion engines, gas reducers, transportation, electrical power, power test codes, and mathematical tables. So again, some pretty cool stuff in here. A particular interest in me is some of the stuff related to steam engines. Just more technical information. You know, when you go to start working on these old steam engines, having reference books like this is really, really nice, but there's a lot more in here. You know, steam turbines, you got up here in the front, I noticed there was some water powered stuff, which is kind of cool. So anyway, pretty cool book. Anyway, I want to thanks James for sending that on to me. This will be a nice addition to the library. I'm old-fashioned. I like old-fashioned books. Yeah, the internet's great to look things up. Sometimes I just want to go pull a book off the shelf and look stuff up. And a lot of the information in these old books, quite honestly, you can't find it, a lot of it on the internet anymore. So James, thanks a lot. Appreciate it very much. So next comes another little book item here. This is a really nice original copy of a manual from LeBlond. Of course, I'm restoring a LeBlond lathe right now. I'm running a Regal, and a Regal was a line of lathes that they sold. This is the 15th edition, copyrighted in 1951. Price was originally $1. This one was bought out of the University of Minnesota bookstore. We put a note on here. Notice the price tag. Somebody paid 65 cents for this book. So probably about 1951. But lots, again, information in here on basic, you know, it's really just all about a lathe in general. And I'm going to get this scanned and put up on the website, VintageMachinery.org, with a lot of the other manuals and stuff. If we don't already have it, it may already be up there. If it isn't, I will get this scanned and put up there. But a lot of real good information. So I'm excited to have this. This will be a nice addition to my LeBlond lathe. And it'll be a nice bit of information for someone else that may have one. It even has parts diagrams back here in the back. And again, this is for the Regal line. Now my lathe is actually a what they call their heavy duty lathe, and it is very similar to the Regals, but there are some subtle differences. So the parts diagrams won't apply to my lathe, but really most of the information in here will be very helpful to my particular lathe. But anyway, very nice thing. And also Dennis sent me some information. He is a volunteer at the Minnesota Streetcar Museum, and they do a lot of restoration work up there. And he sent me a nice little letter here. He sent me some pictures of their shop, working on some stuff, and so on. So anyway, pretty interesting place. I'd love to get up there and visit them sometime. Thanks a lot. Seems like we've got a bunch of paper items in this edition, which is great because I love the old books and manuals and even sales literature and so forth from these different companies. And this one comes from Chris Anderson. And Chris is someone I've been, he's out in California, but we've been communicating now for a while. In fact, I believe Chris, he actually purchased my old Brown and Sharp type dividing head when I got my K&T dividing head. And irony here, he found original sales bulletin here on the Model H universal dividing head, which is the dividing head that I have now to go with my K&T Model H milling machine. So again, this is a sales piece primarily, but it has a lot of the technical information about it and so forth. And again, I'm not sure, we have quite a bit of K&T literature scanned up on my VintageMachinery.org website. Not sure if this particular one is in there or not. If it isn't, as soon as I get a chance, I will scan this and upload it, so it will be available to anybody that wants to take a look at it. It's got a received stamp on here. March 1st, 1949 was when this was received, and let's see, printer's code down here said it was made in 1948 when it was printed, so that'll be the vintage on this. Thanks, Chris. I'll also mention Chris has a YouTube channel where he's got some machine shop type stuff, so again, go search out Chris Anderson on YouTube if you want to look at some more machining type material on YouTube. Thanks, Chris. So next here, got a box. This came from Wayne Davis out in Ingram, Texas, and it's a box full of miscellaneous square head nuts, bolts, etc. And Wayne had sent me an email a while back asking if we'd be interested in these, and I said, yeah, send them along. And basically, this will go out to the museum. And you know, when we're working on restoring stuff out there, to me, when I look at some old piece of equipment or machinery or whatever that, you know, very often pre-1900, and I see a nice shiny zinc-plated hex nut on there, I just want to cringe because it's just not right. And sometimes when doing these restorations, again, for a museum, it's the little details that just make the difference. And, you know, square head nuts and bolts are one of those things that that can make a difference, in my opinion, in a restoration. And these were just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff he had laying around. In fact, he sent me a note. I thought it was kind of funny. I'll read this. And he said, my dad called square nuts farm nuts, and whenever he was working on something that had them, he would throw them away and replace them with hex nuts. Here are a few that escaped that fate. So anyway, thanks a lot. We've actually got a bolt bin out at the museum where we sort all this stuff out, recycle it, reuse it, both nuts and bolts. You can still buy the stuff new, but you know, there's a lot of times the old stuff even looks more authentic than the new stuff that you can get now. So appreciate it very much, Wayne. I appreciate it, and this will go out to the museum, and we'll sometime or another get them sorted out and put in storage so they can get recycled and put back to use out at the museum. Thanks. So the next box here of stuff, this comes from Walter Odell, who is up in Saginaw, Michigan. And Walter wanted to send me a couple of things, and I was pretty excited when I opened up the box and found these, because particularly these spanner wrenches. that's something I've been needing. I've got a few sizes of both of these styles, but I surely don't have a complete set of anything, and I need these from time to time. So looks like we got 3 of them here that are more or less the same size, although one of them is a pin type and 2 of these are hook types. This is a Williams, this is an Armstrong, and this one is a Blue Point. Also one a little bit smaller that's just got the pawl on there. This is a Williams, and let's see, these are both, so that's an Armstrong and that's an Armstrong. So anyway, these are great and will definitely help me out with one of my needs of some tools. Like I said, I've been trying to, whenever I see these at flea markets and tool shows and what have you, I usually just pick them up. Also sent me a couple of taps. These are all pipe taps. So there's a 2-inch, 1.5 inches, and an 1.25 inch pipe tap. And these will also get used probably out at the museum. We do a lot of pipe work out there, particularly with boilers and steam stuff. So, you know, these larger size pipe taps will definitely come in handy. And I'll probably just take these out there to the museum and put them in their collection. If I ever need one, I'll know where one's at I can go grab. Because I personally don't do a lot of pipe work. Occasionally have a need for it, but the museum is always using these things, so we'll probably put them out there. So Walter, thanks a lot again. Some very handy stuff here, and we will put it all to use. Quick follow-up on the spanner wrenches. Actually, as I was going through my box, I had left 2 of the smaller spanner wrenches in there, and I wanted to make sure I put those on camera so the Walter didn't think that I had thrown them away by mistake. So these are all 3.25 to 2 inch, or 3/4 to 2 inch range. One of them is a hook type, and then I also got 2 pin types, and they're 2 different size pins. So that's real nice because that'll really increase the capabilities of these. So again, thanks, Walter. So that'll be a wrap on this issue of Odds and Ends. As always, thanks to all of my people that sent stuff in to me, put out here, and I keep hearing from you guys that there's a lot of you that really enjoy the Odds and Ends series, and I hope that you'll continue to watch it. Always fun to see new things come in and new tools and learn new things. I learn new things when I'm doing these, so lots of fun. So anyway, with that, will be a wrap. As always, thanks for watching. Leave me a comment, hit that like button, share this with some friends that you think might be interested in. If you've got a Facebook account, share the video over on Facebook so that it'll get out to some more folks and they can discover the channel. And I also want to just take a moment and thank everybody who, my last Odds and Ends, we introduced my Patreon account where you could make people that were wanting to do something a little bit above and beyond, and the support for that has been overwhelming, and I greatly appreciate everybody who signed on to Patreon. And if that's not your thing, guys, don't feel obligated, but many of you asked for it. I brought it out there, and I've been blown away by how many people are doing the Patreon thing. So thanks a lot for that. Very much appreciated. We'll talk to you guys real soon. Thanks a lot.